when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Thursday, the 22nd day of May, 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kambi, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinlabi Hola, and it's so good to be here for this morning's session. Adana, we saw some disturbing images over yesterday we making the rounds on social media with that incident up at the Mason Secondary School where some children got involved in a altercation with some adults, and we had Mr.
Mason Hall again.
And we had Mr. Braden Roberts on recently talking about the behaviors that they're seeing in children in both primary and secondary school lately. So another one of the incidents, we hope that we could really try and bring this situation with our children under control, because we know that if the children out of control in the society, the future of the society.
That's right, and it's so sometimes it's so sad to be talking about these types of situations while you still have to do investigations and to find out the origin. Sometimes we tend to treat the situation, the outcome, rather than looking for what is the cause and effect. We look for the effects rather than the cause. What is the cause of this? How did we end up here? How is it? As a child growing up, I think it's unfathomable for me to even consider any altercation with somebody older than myself. So, it feels as if it's just commonplace now, and it really is cause for concern. We really, really have to do a measure of intervention. I feel as if corporate Trinidad and Tobago, we need to activities, social interventions, and not just come up with initiatives, but the follow through. Yes. For me, the follow through and what are the expected outcomes? How do you balance? How do you measure your successes that we need to be implementing? Not just a program that sounds cute and sounds funny, and you invite the media, they take photos. Ooh, wow, we did this. Then what? For me, it's all. Then what were the outcomes? What were we able to curb? What were we able to achieve? And so we really need to look into those things to ensure that you. And as you rightfully said, Akinlabi, if our children are behaving like future, can you imagine that when you are old and grey and collecting your pension, that these are the people responsible for ensuring, that society runs? It's really scary.
Yeah, and we also have to look at the parents as well, parenting as well, because in the incident, to be fair, in the incident, the instinct were really the adults in the issue, in the incident. But that also shows us that these parents, the parenting is a problem as well, because I'm pretty sure those adults were parents of some children maybe in the school as well, and to see that the parents behaving in that way, then the children must follow suit. It really
is cause for concern. It really is disturbing, and it's cause for concern, and we have to do something. Trinidad and Tobago, we have to do better. We're going to continue having conversations here in studio this morning as we bring updates for you. But before we get into our conversations, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. A political clash has erupted about Tobago's legislature, highlighting divisions over the island's autonomy process. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and Minority Leader Kelvin Morris exchanged sharp criticism over a motion on Tobago's autonomy set for debate today. Augustine defended the motion as a step towards strengthening the THA, pledging transparency through the public release of a supporting policy paper. Morris, however, accused Augustine of undermining Tobago's legislative authority and enabling central government control. He warned the move lacked public consultation and betrayed Tobago's autonomy aspiration. Up next, the Division of Education, Research and Technology is investigating a recent altercation involving students and adults near Mason Hall School. Though the incident occurred off the school compound, DIRTEC is concerned about its impact on students and the school community. Stakeholders are reminded to follow proper protocols such as using guidance counseling and student support services when addressing issues like bullying or conflict. Public confrontation or retaliation is discouraged as it can worsen the situation. DIRTEC remains committed respectful environments and urges continued cooperation to protect students. And finally, tensions over identity continue to stir as the Progressive Democratic Patriots leader Watson Duke challenges results. Tobago People's Party, but rather for the UNC, accusing TPP of being a figure face for the UNC influence. He blamed this for the PDP's defeat in the April 28 general election. Duke dismissed theatrics ahead of the THA election, but warned contenders that the PDP is prepared if he decides to enter the race. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Biana, for that news in 90 seconds. And we see that the political debate concerning Tobago's autonomy is starting to kick back up once again.
Yes.
So, Biana, tell us, what are your thoughts on the back and forth between the PNM and the TPP concerning Tobago's political identity?
Well, Mr. Morris is saying that much wasn't put into it to, come to the final thing that they are going to put forward for the debate today. But as the Chief Sec said, a lot was put into it, so let's see how the debate goes today.
You know, my thing about these types of conversations, and I'm happy that the conversation is remaining relevant. It's still in the space, so we're still thinking about it. It's on our minds. But my thing is, and I want to put this out especially for our leaders, let us be Tobago focused,
yes,
rather than pushing my political party's agenda. And I'm not saying that this is what is happening here. And I know that politics is real, and there are things in politics that they just have to happen.
Yes.
But I want, especially with situations like this, let us think about Tobago itself. Let us show love for Tobago, the place that we are supposed to be governing as leaders. And that's my primary thing. Is the focus on Tobago, or is the focus on this is what I put forward and this is what you put forward and this is not enough and this is too much? Let us focus on the real outcomes for the island of Tobago. That is my position where conversations of this nature is concerned.
I would have liked to really hear what the minority leader meant by not enough was put into the thought of bringing the discussion to the legislature today, because in my mind we have ventilated the issue of Tobago's autonomy for over 10 years, for a pretty long time. So I'm not sure exactly what concern the minority leader would have had. I didn't have a chance to listen to the press conference to know what the concerns of the PNM are, but I don't see the discussion today being any less meaty, for lack of a better word, than previous discussions. We all know what we want. We all know what we on each side, what we're looking for in terms of Tobago's autonomy. So let's have the conversation. If we need to absolutely rehash it again, if there are things missing from the discourse, I am pretty sure that both entities already know what's missing from the discourse that they can introduce in the discussions today at the legislature. So like you said, Adana, let's really put Tobago first and move forward with the conversation.
I think we should provide a room where they come and sit and say, hey, these are the things we're going to discuss. These are the situations that we're not going to compromise on. These are staples, they're going to stay. And then build on there. If you think that this one isn't talking about it enough, this one is putting in too much, let us have like at least 5 strong points. These are the points, uncompromising on those points, and build from there. Can we do that? Because we need to move forward.
Yes.
And we need, it's, how long are we talking about this?
It's been too long.
It's too long. It's way, way too long, and we need to get past this. And we need to show that Tobago can really come together, even despite our difference in political affiliation, that we really do have Tobago as our focus, and that we really do love the island of Tobago. Tobago is so rich in culture, so rich in diverse. Tobago is so diverse, and there are so many things that attract people here. Can we also show them that we have a united front?
Yes, I think not to cut you off, but I think this topic is becoming a point of frustration for a lot of Tobagonians now, because how many conversations, how many consultations, how many talk shops do we want to have concerning this autonomy issue? I think, like you said, let us come to a united front. No more blocking of bills or an accusation of blocking of the bills in the House. We've been doing blocking of bills on each side for the past 10 or more years. It's time for us to come together as executive, minority, and whoever else and say to the government at hand,
This
to the
is
parliament
what
at
we
hand,
want.
this is what we want as a united Tobago front.
That's right, that's right. And let's see how it goes today, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah. On a lighter note, Biana, thank you so much for joining us on set this morning. We do hope that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And of course, we here at Tobago Updates Television, we love a good celebration. And we're kicking off Gemini season with a special birthday today. We want to say happy birthday. Listen, you see this young man on the screen? If you can guess his age, today he turns 90 years old. So we say happy 90th birthday to Mr. Astor Kwashi from his children, Auntie Kathleen. Auntie Kathleen up there from Mason Hall, and Joel Kwashi and others. It's a blessing to have you still here with us, Daddy. We pray for many more years with you. Happy birthday, Mr. Kwashi, and we pray God's blessings upon your life as well.
We continue these celebrations and we say happy birthday to Mr. Anderson Charles. Mr. Charles is a well-known figure in the Tobago space. We wish you God's greatest blessings. We know that you're going to be surrounded with friends and family, loved ones, supporters, and they're going to be treating you very well today. We hope you also take some time out to relax, go on the beach, lie down a little bit, stay under the umbrella, sleep, drink a nice slushy or some kind of thing, a nice martini, and enjoy your day.
All right, and we stay with the Charles, and we say happy birthday to Jameson Charles. Jameson Charles is celebrating a birthday today, and we do, Jameson, how do you pronounce it? Jameson Charles is having a birthday today, and we say happy birthday to you, and we pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today. So happy birthday to you.
We say happy birthday to Miss Candice Jackson.
One are we own. Happy birthday,
Candice Jackson. We see you already started celebrations. You're out on the beach, and we wish you God richest blessings. We know that you have your friends and your family and your members, your colleagues in the media. They will come to you and give you love and cherish you and make you feel very, very, very special today. And I know you might be going off for a nice little dinner this evening. We wish that you enjoy your entire day and God's richest blessings to you.
Yes, happy birthday, Candice. And this is a special birthday. We have our birthday today.
Hey.
We have our birthday today.
Hey.
Happy birthday goes out to Julian Skeets. You all might know this name and you might know this face. He used to sit right here in this studio with me. Yes, and he is celebrating a birthday today, Julian. We wish you the very, very best birthday today, and we pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you have a wonderful and amazing birthday. And listen, this photo that you have with the other co-host who used to be here as well, Miss Rhea George, she says happy birthday greetings from her and her family as well, being extended to you, Julian. You are loved, you are cherished, and we do hope that you have an amazing, wonderful birthday today, and the season, of course, continues to be good for you. So happy birthday and God bless.
Happy birthday goes out to Miss Patricia Lynn Coker. Happy birthday to you, Miss Coker. She is dressing up very lovely there with your nice handbag. We thank you very, sorry about that. We wish you God's richest blessings. We wish you God's richest blessings. We know you're going to spend this time and reflect on all that He has done for you in this life and all that He is going to bless you with in the upcoming year. Happy birthday to you, Miss Coker.
Next, we have Miss Rhea Orr. We have a lot of birthdays today. The Gemini is coming strong this morning. Rhea Orr is celebrating her birthday today, and we say happy birthday to you, Rhea. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, amazing birthday today.
Happy birthday to Miss Candice Nichols. Yes, the names and the faces keep rolling in. Happy birthday to Miss Candice Nichols. May the 22nd seems like a day of celebration, a day of births. We wish you God's richest blessings. We wish that your friends and your family are around you, show you love, show you kindness, show you grace, and that they treat you as a special person that you are. Happy birthday.
Next, we have Winston Piera, and we're saying happy birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today. We pray that as you enter this new chapter and this new phase of your life, that you enter into joy, peace, love, and harmony. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Miss Rebecca Fornillier. Miss Rebecca Fornillier, happy birthday to you. We already see you start the celebrations out there at Comfort Inn. Yes, and we wish you God's richest blessings today. We know you're going to have a blast. You're going to celebrate it. You look like you're one of them like to dress up and get fancy and go out there and have a time. And we wish that you have a time, but be safe. And we wish that you also reflect on the blessings that God has bestowed upon your life thus far.
And finally, closing off the birthday celebrations, we have Kalistra Abdul. Kalistra Abdul is also celebrating a birthday today, and we say happy birthday to you, Kalistra. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, amazing birthday today. So happy birthday to you. And of course, if you are celebrating today and we don't have your photograph, we still join in the celebration with you and remind you to put God first, because He is the sole reason why there's even anything for you to celebrate. Akinlabi, we're getting close to the weekend. It's Thursday morning. Who are we having conversations with today?
All right, well, this morning we're having conversations with Mr. Eddie Stewart, who is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Nurses Association, and he wants to discuss the low pass rate for TNT nurses and what are the issues causing that low pass rate. Then afterwards, we're going to have Bimal Ram Logan, who is a member of the Tobago Hindu Society, and Miss Sita Bipat Kombi, member of the Tobago Hindu Society, and they are going to be talking about the Indian Arrival Day celebrations. And finally, we're going to have Miss Candice Rajman, who is part of the Environment Club, and she's a biology teacher at the Bishop's High School, and Miss Samara Rampasad, who is the Environmental Club president, and they are going to be talking about BHS Turtle Day.
All right, this song's very, very interesting, viewers, and we do hope that you could stay with us throughout the entire programming this morning as we get into those conversations. Remember, whether you are on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel, we really appreciate you. Even if you're on AMPLIA 102 or Flow 121 or 130, this is your opportunity to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Saving up to go. Anything we not backing down, like a bomb we ready to explode. Ain't gonna wait until my back against the wall. Ain't gonna.
Tobago, this is your chance to lock in the brunch experience of the summer. Sun up,
Real bad girl get nasty.
the brunch inclusive edition, the ultimate party in the East, where vibrant flavors, refreshing cocktails, and electrifying vibes collide. It's happening on Saturday, July 5th from 3 p.m. at Deltec Compound, Argyle. Bring your coolers, bring your crew, and brunch, sip, and vibe in style. This is the flavorful escape you've been waiting for. Grab your tickets now at Barcode, Pablo Supermarket, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Deltec Compound, and committee members. Sun up! It's more than a brunch, it's an experience.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning by speaking with Mr. Eddie Stewart, and he is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Nurses Association, and we are talking this morning about the low pass rate for Trinidad and Tobago nurses. Good morning, Mr. Stewart, and welcome.
A pleasant morning to you and your listeners. Thanks for having me.
Of course, a pleasure having you here this morning, albeit the conversation is not as favorable as we'd like to have it. But of course, we have to have the conversation this morning. And now we're seeing we're in a position where our nurses in Trinidad and Tobago, the pass rates being very, very low. In fact, I suppose you will talk us through the information so that we know where we are and how did we get here and what do we do, is my question, to improve our status.
Well, definitely. It's indeed a worrying concern for the association. It really boils down to one main issue, and that issue is years, almost decades of neglect when it comes to investing in nursing and midwifery in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a problem we would have been highlighting over the years. Unfortunately, several administrations over the last 15 years really have paid lip service to addressing those issues. And this is what we would have highlighted to the incoming Minister of Health when we held a meeting with him only on Monday of this week. And we impressed on him the need to take decisive action, otherwise the fallout would even get worse. We would have, over the years, and if I was to look at myself and my batch when we trained some 2 decades ago, we had the ability of, one, staying in hostels. So you were right on the hospital compound. You actually lived on the hospital compound, something similar to what prison officers, fire officers, army officers go through. They actually stay within the compound, so they are right there. You are at the point where you can achieve the best experience within the facility. So we had that ability. We had a greater number of instructors, so where we weren't left to the vagaries that could happen on the ward setting. We had a number of lecturers being there on a daily basis to make sure we learn the correct activity, because the ward can get very hectic and you could be lost in the melee of what is transpired in the ward setting. And the nurses may not have the time, especially when we are extremely short of nursing personnel. So there's not that senior level nursing personnel to look over the students. They are focused on scrambling just to cover their own basis. And so if you don't have that level of clinical instructor oversight, you can see the eventual gaps that has been created. Thirdly, we had the ability of getting a stipend, a nursing student stipend. So even though it was small, 1,200, 1,400, it used to go up incrementally. Now you don't have that ability to get that stipend to supplement your transportation, because you have to come from home to the facility. And nursing is like any other studies, as persons would imagine. You have to go to various institutions throughout Trinidad and Tobago. You have to get your maternity experience, your ICU experience, your psychiatric experience in St. Anne's, your community experience. So you are sent across Trinidad and Tobago, and attempting to do that with no form of income whatsoever, it is extremely difficult. So we had that a benefit. And then there is the realm now of, we are now sitting a regional nursing exam. It's an exam managed by CXC actually. It's a regional exam, or majority of the CARICOM countries, nurses entered into that exam. And what we are seeing Jamaica, Dominica, a number of countries getting in the high 90s. That is generally the average of where one would want to see your pass rate. Unfortunately, in Trinidad and Tobago, we are at 50%. So 50% of the persons who enter our nursing exams are actually passing, and the other 50% have to resit. So that is indeed a worrying concern for the association.
I know you identified quite a number of concerns, Mr. Stewart, and you also mentioned in your introduction that you had conversations with the Minister of Health, the new Minister of Health. In your estimation, and of course in the position that you hold, How long have you noticed a trend of our nurses scoring low and the impact that this current situation has, and how long have they been in this situation causing that effect?
Particularly over the last 10 years, there has been a downward trend, particularly over the last 10 years. We currently have 3 nursing schools: University of the West Indies Nursing School, University of Southern Caribbean Nursing School, and COSTAT nursing schools. And really and truly, it is nursing schools in all of these schools, probably barring none, are the largest faculty, particularly in COSTAT. It's the largest faculty within those universities. And if that is true, one cannot understand why these organizations would not place a greater emphasis on your greatest revenue earner for these organizations. It's really unthinkable, and it's really shocking. Even internationally, when you watch the statistics, generally it's above 90%. So for us to now be at a 50% rate, what does that mean for the country? Less nurses are coming into the system at the appropriate time. What does that mean? That we cannot supply the current healthcare needs of our country, particularly when it comes to nursing. And we always remark, you can do without any other category of staff for one day, and the patient would not pass on, as it would not succumb to a particular illness, because a very skilled nurse could keep that patient alive, even if there's no doctor, if there's no radiologist, even if there's no wards made. A skilled nurse, can manage that patient. So you cannot do without a nurse at any point in the day. So when you have a situation in Trinidad, as what taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, where we cannot supply our healthcare needs, specifically because of this deficit, is really a worrying concern. And on the flip side, we are training way too many doctors, way too many pharmacists, way too many vets, way too many dentists as we speak. We are training way too many, and one would think logically you would want to redirect those resources to where you are short on. And not only Trinidad and Tobago is short on nursing personnel, the world is short on nursing personnel. So we can take the model like Philippines and India and Nigeria and train for export. And that could be a great source of foreign income coming in, because when persons go abroad, one of the main things they do is send home those remittances to their family. And Jamaica is benefiting heavily from that. When their nurses go abroad, remittances account for a large sector of their foreign exchange income. So the solutions are easy, solutions are straightforward. It's just the political will to really navigate these waters. We cannot be training persons only because they like a particular field. If you like a particular field, you can spend your money and go do that particular field. But we must be training for the shortages. Yeah?
Mr. Stewart, you mentioned that there are 3 institutions teaching nursing in Trinidad and Tobago. Do you think that the fact that there are 3 separate institutions training nursing, it has some sort of factor into playing into why our pass rate has lowered so much?
I don't believe so. I wouldn't say that. These are 3 good nursing schools. There used to be 4. The 4th one was the Ministry of Education Nursing School. However, that was an organization actually running against the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine the government of Trinidad and Tobago was breaking the laws of Trinidad and Tobago by operating that nursing school. Because it was not registered with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the law of Trinidad and Tobago. Anytime you operating any post-secondary or tertiary level facility, you must be registered with the ACT to ensure the oversight is there. And the ACT, Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, is monitoring closely these nursing schools. However, we want them to be more robust, and we also want the second regulatory body, which is the Nursing Council, to be more stringent. Stringent by meaning you cannot have a situation where you have 30 plus nursing students on a ward or in a facility or in a classroom, and you don't have the required nursing instructors or clinical instructors to supervise these students. And that is where we are falling down. Our regulatory bodies, Nursing Council, the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, are allowing a greater influx of persons into the schools where the schools really and truly don't have the human resource themselves to make sure the students get proper oversight. So that is something we have been lobbying the schools and the regulatory body to rationalize. Yeah.
And Mr. Stewart, you mentioned that you spoke with the health minister. What are the, in terms of the conversation, what type of intervention can be made on his part, and how do you think the conversation went, and what do you think the outcomes are likely to be?
Well, one of the great things about having Dr. Lakram Bodo in office is that we have been liaising with Dr. Lakram Bodo over the last 9 years. So Dr. Lakram Bodo is very well aware of the issues affecting nursing and midwifery in Trinidad and Tobago, in addition to wider health sector concerns. And one of the things we sought to impress on him is, while we seek to find ways to resolve the current shortage of nursing personnel on the wards, to resolve the poor pass rate in our nation's nursing schools, it is not to make the problem worse. So that is, and we hope we got across that point, because trying to operationalize and open a 13th secondary healthcare facility, a 13th hospital in Trinidad and Tobago, which Hoover Children's Hospital, would only make the matters worse. And you are making it worse unnecessarily. So for instance, we are trying to, it's the Prime Minister's pet project, as it will, and the country is seeking a way to fund the Prime Minister's pet project. And what this would mean is, since they are currently inadequate general nurses, first to begin, and then there are none of the nursing schools are training specialist nurses. None of them are currently, there's no cohort inside training any pediatric, NICU, ICU nurses, theater nurses. So there's no cohort inside. So there's no specialist nurses we can envision coming out in the next year or 2 or 3. So the concept of opening a pediatric hospital in Hoover is mind-boggling, because where would the staff come from? So we sought to impress on him, do not make the situation even worse. Let's find ways to address the current alarming situation we have in Trinidad and Tobago before you begin to add on added cost to the country, and before you open up further facilities.
Mr. Stewart,
so that is what...
Sorry.
No, that's it.
Right. So we will be following up with this situation. Of course, as you are aware, it is very, very alarming for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we'd love to see the outcome of those conversations and the things that are put in place, of course, to intercept this situation and to, of course, to reduce the low rates and, of course, bring us back up to a good and healthy place so that we can outfit our healthcare facilities here in Trinidad and Tobago. We do hope that you have a wonderful day, and we thank you so much for coming on this morning and bringing us up to speed as to what is happening where that is concerned. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mr. Eddie Stewart this morning, talking about the low pass rate of our nurses here in Trinidad and Tobago, and hoping for resolve where the situation is concerned. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning, and as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Do you think you know Premier League or Champions League football? What about international cricket or the IPL and CPL? How about NBA basketball? Well, now you can put your skills to work to earn some extra cash by betting on the games with TT Bet Arena. Simply go to our website, choose a sport you want to bet on, find the games and place your bets. And with your computer or mobile device, you can bet from anywhere. Just go to ttbetarena.com, sign up for a free account, make a deposit, and start betting. It's that simple. You can even qualify for our $2,000 sign-up bonus. We also have horse racing, plus live casino games where you can bet using TT dollars. And check our new Tobago location at 7B Milford Road, Crown Point. For more info, call or WhatsApp 494-0634. TT Bet Arena, the #1 sports betting company in Trinidad and Tobago.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, eh? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but my cousin Tofina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me pick me them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trace Springer down by the place down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trace Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. Before we get into our conversations this morning, I must say a special good morning to Mr. Newton George, who is viewing us all the way from Toronto in Canada. Thank you so much for choosing us this morning, and wherever you are in the world, a special good morning to you as well. We have the photo of the day lined up for you. The photo of the day this morning was sent in by Salisha Mohammed. Can you guess where this photo was taken? Right here on the island of Tobago. You might have to tilt your neck a little bit, but if you know Tobago at all, you might be able to figure it out. I will tell you the answer in the next segment, so stay with us as we continue having conversations. Speaking of which, in studio with me this morning, we have Mr. Bimal Ramlogan and Mrs. Sita Bipat Kambi, members of the Tobago Hindu Society, and of course, we're talking about the Indian Arrival Day celebrations right here on the island of Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Right, lovely having you guys in studio with us this morning. And of course, we know Indian Arrival Day is approaching, and we celebrate that in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the beautiful things about this country is that we really celebrate our people, all of our peoples. We celebrate the Christians, the Hindus, the Muslims. There's a space for everybody, as our national anthem says. And so we're heading into that time where it's Indian Arrival Day celebrations. And I know every year there's a you host an event on the Lowlands Mall. So talk us through the event this year. But before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about Indian Arrival Day itself, if you can, sure. Mr. Ramlogan. Just give us a brief history as to, the arrival and, the integration in the society here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Sure. So Indian Arrival Day is celebrated on the 30th of May, which marks the arrival of the East Indians from 1845 when they came aboard the Fatal Razak. And over the years, we've seen a lot of the Indians that were initially in Trinidad move across to Tobago, and they bring their culture, they bring the language, they bring the food, they bring the dance, and so on. And we've seen the community grow over the years. Sita here, for example, born in Tobago, grew up in Tobago, educated in Tobago, and all these things.
Yeah, and it's so really, really diverse that we are able to, as I mentioned before, really celebrate our people here on the island of Tobago. And talking about culture, when we talk about culture, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, we're talking about food. That's number one. Yeah. We're talking about food, we're talking about music, we're talking about so many different things that make up people who they are. And I believe that is what you are celebrating on that day. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect when we come and some of the things that we will, be able to see and participate in.
Right. So on Saturday at the Lowlands Mall, our program has a classical side and Bollywood side. So you will see classical Indian dancing by myself. And then there are dancers from Mahatma Gandhi Institute who will be coming from Trinidad. And we will have Govinda Ramlogan, Tobago Chana. He'll also be performing. And our very own Mia, Princess Mia of Tobago, she will also be singing.
And you are so modest, Sita, and I want you to tell people, you said dancing from myself. Let them know that you are trained. I want you to, to let people know that you are trained. It's not just because the thing about it is that what I admire about this organization and the dancers is not just where we went to dance practice today, so we learn a dance. It's literal training, professional training. So tell us about the type of training that goes into preparing, to become a dancer in the Indian Hindu society.
Well, I have been trained in India for 3 years. I went on a scholarship, classical Indian dancing, Bharatanatyam. So I have trained in that field for 3 years and came back to Tobago. So during my time, I would have numerous times to revise my work and practicals, just in order to perform, prepare myself to perform.
And in terms of the dances, I know that they usually tell a story.
Yes.
So tell me about how the story unfolds through the dance.
So in classical Indian dance, Bharatanatyam especially, our dance tells a story by the way of their actions. So every action has a meaning. So like walking forward, you will say like either you're walking down a path or as you display in open hands, you're opening a book, you're telling a story, various positions, hand positions and hand gestures or bodily movements tell the story.
Absolutely. And Mr. Ram Logan, I know that you are the chairperson.
Yes.
Of course, with pride, of course, introducing your brothers and sisters as they come to share the story of Hinduism and how you celebrate. What does it mean for you to be on a local stage here in Tobago and celebrating who you are?
Well, before I get to that, I want to add to what you asked Sita, because I feel like you were listening to our conversation that we were having in the car. I was telling Sita about her humility, and she don't necessarily portray how talented and educated she is. And one of the things I was telling her as well is that we're more than 50% completed with the mandir in Tobago, which will be the first Hindu mandir. And I was telling her that the same way she had the opportunity to go to India and study, there'll be other Tobagonians who will be able to benefit when this temple is completed. They'll be scouted, and they don't need to be of Hindu faith or East Indian descent. As long as you have an interest in the culture and learning and these things, there will be vast opportunities.
I really like the fact that you said that you don't have to be East Indian or Hindu as long as you have an interest in the culture. And that's something we need to expand here in Trinidad and Tobago, because as much as we celebrate each other, we still stick to our cliques and we still stick to, because I am this, I would study this. Whereas, there's an open space now for people to come and study different cross cultures. And I really do hope that people take this seriously, take the opportunities that are before us, whatever culture it is, because I believe that we are so diverse in who we are, and when we stand on international stages, people marvel because of how much we bring to the stage. And as you mentioned before, the temple is almost complete, and I know that a lot went into getting it there. And you mentioned that opportunities will come after the temple is completed. Tell me a little bit about how that is going to happen.
All right. So let's say somebody's interested in learning the culture, learning dances, learning the music and these things. You don't even need to wait until the temple is completed. We're here today to promote the event that we're having that is open and free to the public. You interested, come across to the show, come chat with me. Come say, hey, I'm interested in learning more. Come to Sita, come to the president, Mrs. Bipat, or the Pandit Ramdat Mahes. We're going to have a lot of persons there. Come, say hi, introduce yourself, and we could find a place in the society for any and everybody. Again, you don't even need to be of the Hindu faith or of East Indian descent. We are a growing organization and we welcome all on board.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And in terms of the event on Saturday, what time does the event start?
Well, the event starts at 5 p.m. It's at the Lowland Mall. It's an event that we're having every year. There will be refreshments as well provided free.
And that's, I like this about you guys. Once there is an event, and because I know Sita by the surname, you all should know that Sita and I are more than just friends. We are family. Sita is married to my brother, hence the surname Kombi. And, one thing from being around the events, being participating in actively, just coming to support, they always feed you. They always feed you, and I know Sita's mom's house, the president of the Hindu Society in Tobago, is where it goes down, in the cooking and the preparations. And, tell us a little bit in terms of how do you prepare? I know each different religion or culture, they have different ways of preparing. How do you prepare for the events?
Well, I do a lot of the cooking. My mom is the main chef, and I'm the official pot turner.
And your brother as well.
And
your brother
Akila is there as well, working very hard. Sita is there. Sita is the seasoning person, because when it comes to Indian food, it's all about the season and the spices.
Yes.
So it's a collective group effort. We have roti, chana and aloo, pumpkin, mango, and parasar.
The sweet. What, the sweet is the parasar?
Yes. The sweet is the parasar, the muhambog.
Are we going to have more sweets this year, provided by Miss Dewan, Cynthia Dewan?
So if you never had parasar in your life before and you're hearing about this thing, you know what? Let that be your incentive to come down to the program.
That's right. That's right. So, of course, we want you to ensure you come down this Saturday at the Lowlands Mall. There is so much to enjoy. There's so much to see. And I want to talk about Princess Mia a little bit.
Yes.
I know she will be singing, and she's coming up so nicely. If I've been following her, and she really is, she's making waves. I remember when she started, and I've seen the improvements.
She's very talented.
And didn't she win or participate in a competition recently?
She participated in a few competitions last year, and then she's again joining another competition next week, the Meridesh Committee, competition. They're hosted every year on Indian Arrival Day. Yes.
And she will be a part of that as well.
And she will be a part of that, yes.
Right. So, if you, in closing, is there any other information you want to share with our viewers this morning to entice them?
I just want to say Mia has flown the flag of Tobago really high. I mean, figuratively speaking, of course. She has done remarkable. And you've seen a child that just loves and has a passion for the culture grow. And the same way we saw it with Tobago Chana, multiple music videos, songs performing all over. His music is in Canada, South Africa, you name it. And to you looking, you could be the next Mia, you could be the next Tobago Chana. Come out there, we know Tobago has talent. Let us work together, let us enhance your talent, let us send you to India like Sita.
That's right, that's right. And you're talking about Sita being humble. Why don't you tell him that you are the brother of Tobago Chana?
Yeah. Well, he does the singing, I do the speaking.
Right. So, and I like the fact that you kind of remain the closeness of the culture and the religion. It really, when I'm around Sita, when I'm around Mommy Pearls and Miss B Pat, I really feel that sense of family.
Yes.
I feel a sense of togetherness. I feel that sense of a welcome, a kind of open arm type of feeling I get when I'm around the family. So I can sense it, the pride, the love, the support for each other. And I really do hope that it continues for generations on, as you mentioned.
But we were not speaking about that in the car. Sita was telling me, as a mother, the things that she do and the values that she instills in her kids. And she keeps them grounded in the faith. We are descendants of the Holas family, which is very well known in Trinidad, Bojam Holas, Rukmini Holas, and so on. So we continue to try to, promote the tradition and the culture.
Yes.
And, of course, I want to wish you guys the very, very best coming this Saturday. The program is taking place at the Lowlands Mall, 4 p.m. You can see the information here on our screen from 5 p.m., at the Lowlands Mall. Absolutely free, and you will be entertained. There is so much to learn and to experience. My first attendance to one of these events, I was mind blown. I really was. I was engaged. I was fully engaged in what was happening, and so can you. You have the opportunity as well. So come and be a part of what is taking place there and support the Hindu Society of Tobago as they celebrate and their annual Indian Arrival Day celebrations there at the mall. Thank you guys so much for coming this morning and giving us that information. And of course, for also opening your arms and welcoming people into who you are and what you do, to learn about you and to be a part of the society as well. And we wish you the absolute best. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mr. Bimal Ramlogan and Mrs. Sita B. Patkombi of the Tobago Hindu Society. The Indian Arrival Day celebrations take place this Saturday at the Lowlands Mall from 5 p.m. and you don't want to miss it. Come on down and be a part of what's taking place there. All right, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 GB fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Tobago Tobago. This is your chance to lock in the brunch experience of the summer. Sun up.
Real bad girl get nasty.
The brunch inclusive edition, the ultimate party in the East, where vibrant flavors, refreshing cocktails, and electrifying vibes collide. It's happening on Saturday, July 5th from 3 p.m. at Deltec Compound, Argyle. Bring your coolers, bring your crew, and brunch, sip, and vibe in style. This is the flavorful escape you've been waiting for. Grab your tickets now at Barcode, Pablo Supermarket, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Deltec Compound, and committee members. Sun up. It's more than a brunch. It's an experience.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our wellness center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or doctor's office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and we are in studio with the Bishop's High School Environmental Club, and we have here Ms. Candice Rajman, who is a teacher, biology teacher at the Bishop's High School, and Ms. Samara Rampasad, who is the Environmental Club President, and they are here to talk about BHS Turtle. Good morning and welcome, ladies.
Good morning.
So we want to get right off into it. Ms. Rajman, just tell us, what is BHS Turtle Day about?
All right, so on Friday, the 23rd, it is World Turtle Day. It's an internationally recognized day, and we saw the need to bring our students to the awareness of turtles. So we will have a two-part celebration on that day. All right, so in the morning time in school, we are going to make announcements for our lunchtime awareness drive. We will be having a mural to be filled in by students, a color by number of a turtle, so they will have that appreciation, as well as videos and other awareness drives during the luncheon period. In the night, we will be visiting Turtle Beach. We will be escorted by SOS, and we will be looking at our turtles coming. We are hoping to see some turtles coming in on Friday. We'll be there from 7:30 a.m. until midnight.
Okay. And Ms. Rampasa, just tell us about the Environmental Club in Bishop's High School.
Okay, so the Environmental Club is a very vibrant, passionate club. So in the club, we are all about awareness, advocating, we're about appreciating, we're about protecting, and about recycling initiatives. It's a very strong, vibrant club, and it's very noble to be a part of it. And,
well, this is one is for either one of you, but how did you come up with the inspiration for this Turtle Day? Why Turtle Day and not any other day?
All right, so this is the first time we are actually celebrating World Turtle Day. All right, we have done other things in the past, such as the International Coastal Cleanup and other drives on the compound, like our recycling initiative. But when we look at turtles, the turtles are endangered. As you know, they are experiencing habitat loss, poaching, and of course the plastic pollution is impacting them negatively. So when we tie it into our plastic drive that we are trying to reduce on the compound, it's only fit to include Turtle Day to see the direct impact. For example, plastic bags. The turtles mistake the plastic bags for food, such as jellyfish.
Yes.
All right, and as you know as well, or the public may know, we have one of the largest turtle nesting sites in the world, right? And it's only fit to tell the students and raise awareness. This is our generation to come. We have to start here.
Okay, and in terms of members of the public wanting to attend, is there a cost? Can they come, or is it just reserved for members of the environmental club?
Well, at this time, we had reserved it for our members of the club and staff, right? So members of Bishop's High School, that is, we had reserved it for students, staff, and parents. However, SOS, Save Our Sea Turtles, you can always reach out to SOS so that you can have your tour guides being organized. The turtle nesting period is from March to August, so they have a nice period in which you can approach them and organize your tours.
All right, and Ms. Rampasad, just tell us about you're the president of the Environmental Club. Just tell us about some of the plans that the Environmental Club has moving forward, some of the projects and plans.
Okay. So moving forward, like we said before, on Friday we have our field trip for turtle watching. And then on Monday, we are launching a very exciting recycling competition.
Okay.
So it is a friendly competition between classes where they compete to see who could collect the most water bottles, right? It will run from Monday till the following Tuesday, and then we will judge, and then we have to assign prizes and so on. So members of the public, if you are willing with any sponsors for prizes, we do appreciate it. And after that, we have World Environmental Day coming up on June 5th, where we normally hold a little fair, a little educational experience. And on that day, we are planning to ban single-use plastics for that day only. So I'll let Miss tell you a little bit more about that.
Okay.
All right, so on Thursday, we are going to challenge our students and staff on the compound to walk with their reusable water bottles. All right, so they have to try to resist the urge of buying the actual water bottle, that plastic bottle on the day. We will have the refillable water available. So if it is they want additional water, they will have that on hand. So that's the plan. We want to try to encourage them to build that habit, right? We have to start somewhere, right? So we're starting with the water bottles.
Okay, and concerning the BHS Turtle Day, you all have any message or any message you want to give to the public? You could just look into the camera and give the public a last message if you like.
All right, so good morning, Tobago. We want to encourage you to save our turtles. Stop destroying the habitats. We want you to refrain from poaching these turtles, and as much as you can. When you use the beach for fun activities, please take your trash away with you. And you can always go along and take a look at the sea turtles. When you come and you see that nice experience that they have when they do our nesting, you will feel a certain type of way, and it will make you want to save the turtles too.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Candice Rajman, biology teacher at the Bishop's High School, and Ms. Samara Rampasad, the president of the Environmental Club, telling us about BHS Turtle Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our Tobago Updates morning show. But before we go back to our photo of the day. Our photo of the day, it's coming up now. And our photo of the day, that's it there. Can you give us an answer of where that is? And I believe that this area has been in the news a lot lately. It has been in the news a lot lately, and that is Back Bay, popularly known as Back Bay, sent in by Miss Salisha Mohammed. Yes, Back Bay, sent in by Miss Salisha Mohammed. So we want to thank you all for viewing with us, staying with us, but our programming doesn't end there, ladies and gentlemen. We ask you to stay with us as we go on to GMT. But that is all for today. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. The Tobago Fashion First event was conceptualized in 2024 by the Tobago Day Planning Committee. We wanted to introduce a new event into the calendar while at the same time creating something of real substance. We also aimed to create a platform for Tobago's immensely talented designers. Welcome to Tobago Fashion First and enjoy Tobago's Fashion First.
This event was designed as a launch platform for our fashion industry, a space to bring to light the remarkable talent and creativity of Tobago's designers, to place their name brand into the public life, and to say to the world, Tobago has it takes. The opulence we witness tonight is all Tobago, by Tobagonians, for the world. Our designers and models are not simply participants in the fashion industry, they are contenders. And with the right support, they can stand proudly among and even rival the most celebrated figures in the global fashion scene. Tonight is a statement. Tobago is here. We are bold, we are brilliant, and we are ready to take our place on the world stage.
When the mountains rise before me, I believe I can feel it home. I will follow the path if you lead me. Just don't let go. If I promise you feel it always, tell me why you had to lie. I would hold on to it forever. You need to try and never be the same. I'm sorry, feeling alone. Always be lonely on your own. Just say I'm sorry. Just say I'm sorry. Just say I'm sorry. Just say I'm sorry. When a morning sky surrounds me, I believe I can see your light. I will reach for riches, guide me, hold me tight. If I promise you'll feel it only, show me how to make this right. I will get away feeling lonely through the night.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's a brand
to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host Chanel Felix and welcome back. Guys, you know, in a very soon me sitting here is because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have or news in 90 seconds. A political clash has erupted about Tobago's legislature, highlighting divisions over the island's autonomy process. THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and Minority Leader Kelvon Morris exchanged sharp criticisms over a motion on Tobago's autonomy set for debate today. Augustine defended the motion as a step towards strengthening the THA, pledging transparency through the publishing of a supporting policy paper. Morris, however, accused Augustine of undermining Tobago's legislative authority and enabling central government control. He warned the move lacked public consultation and betrayed Tobago's autonomy aspirations. Additionally, the Division of Education, Research and Technology, DIRTEC, is investigating a recent altercation involving students and adults near the Mason Hall Secondary School. Though the incident occurred off the school compound, DIRTEC is concerned about its impact on students and the school community. Stakeholders are reminded to follow proper protocols such as using guidance counselors for any such confrontations. Retaliation is discouraged as it can worsen situations. DIRTEC remains committed to safe, respectful learning environments and urges continued cooperation to protect student and staff well-being. And finally, Alan Taylor, a 49-year-old retired soldier of Main Road, Speyside, has been arrested and charged in connection with a wounding incident that took place in Speyside on Saturday, May 10th, 2025. According to police reports, Acting Corporal Daniel conducted investigations which led to the arrest of Alan Taylor. Taylor was charged with attempted murder of Aloy Crooks and wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm to Dalen Crooks. He appeared before Magistrate Chinbas on Wednesday, May the 21st, 2025, and was granted $80,000 bail to cover both charges. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Guys, this morning we continue our conversation, and I have the privilege of sitting and chatting virtually, that is, with the Senator, the Honorable Anil Roberts, Minister in the Ministry of Housing. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Good morning, and sorry for still being in the car, but I was dropping my daughter to school and there was a tremendous amount of traffic. So you'll be stuck with me on bumpy roads until we can have the opportunity to smooth them out. But good morning, but you put a smile on my face early. Good morning, Tobago. It's very interesting just to listen to your 90-second news that a PNM member, a member of the PNM, that has been in government since 1956, that has caused Tobago to be disrespected, that has enabled Tobago situation to remain one of dictatorship by the central government, would have the audacity to criticize the Honorable Chief Secretary, who is on the verge of bringing greater autonomy to Tobago, that a member of the People's National Movement that swears and pledges allegiance to their party over the island, over the country, would criticize the TPP on autonomy for Tobago. I nearly choked on my doubles and coffee. I had to laugh because the PNM has oppressed Tobago since inception. And so any movement towards autonomy between the new THA, the Chief Secretary, and now the two members of Parliament working and negotiating a system of harmony, respect, and love to bring Tobago what it deserves to chart its own course has to be applauded by all Tobagonians. The Chief Secretary is doing a great job. And now we have a Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who respects and loves Tobago and wants Tobago to handle its affairs. So they will move ahead as two leaders of our island, in our two islands in our one nation. And PNM, unfortunately, you will be thrown in the dustbin of politics for an inordinate amount of time.
Right, and even as it pertains to those connections and relationships and collaboration, you are now at the Ministry of Housing. Are there any plans or strategies in place to work closely with the Tobago House of Assembly to ensure that Tobago has a greater allocation as it pertains to housing in Tobago?
Absolutely, and already what the secretaries and so on from the THA have contacted the Honorable Minister David Lee, Ms. Ian Pollard, and so on. And we will be to hear what Tobago requires. There's a midterm review coming for budget allocations. Tobago and Trinidad will sit side by side. So we will collaborate, we will listen, and we will fight for Tobago just like we fight for the rest of our nation. So this is a time of great hope and great understanding and respect. So a meeting will be set up shortly between Minister Lee. I hope that I'm included in that meeting to hear the plans that the THA has for Tobago so that any extra allocation that is necessary can be fought for within the parameters of the current budgetary situation.
Understood. And even on a national level, as it pertains to the Ministry of Housing, what are some of the areas that need, immediate attention as it pertains to some of the key issues that has been faced in the area of housing in Trinidad?
In Trinidad, as is in Tobago, under the last 9.5 years, the Ministry of Housing has absolutely failed. They have not been living up to their mandate, their vision, their mission, their objectives. In the last 4.5 years, a paltry 4,079 houses were constructed. Some of low quality, some that are not fit for purpose. The HDC and the Housing Ministry was a complete failure under the PNM, even though billions of dollars were spent. So we are in the process of gathering all the information. The systems that they put in place, making subsidiaries and so on, is being analyzed by the Honorable Minister David Lee, and we will ensure, as the UNC government, to live up to the mandate dictated to us and instructed to us by the Honorable Minister. Two houses. The UNC is about housing for people. In 2015, there were 150,000 applications for housing in Trinidad and Tobago. And right now, there are 195,000 applications. People are desperate for housing. The PNM went away from the original mission of the Ministry of Housing to build exorbitant, high-rise, luxury housing for people who are rich, while the objective of Kamla Persad-Bissessar is to serve those most in need. So the housing authority will reach to building high quality housing to put a roof over the heads of these. The housing ministry.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here as we try to get a better connection with the Honorable Minister Anil Roberts. Guys, we take a quick break here. See you soon.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tobago.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago
Welcome back. We were having a bit of an issue. I hope that the minister is on and he can hear me properly. Welcome back.
I am hearing you perfectly. I humbly apologize if you were not as you know, we're in the city center, Port of Spain, and yet our national mobile service provider has a weak service in the heart of Port of Spain. That alone shows you the incompetence of the PNM. But don't worry, Kamla is the Prime Minister now, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and we shall fix that. The Minister of Public Utilities shall address that issue. So are you hearing me now a little bit better?
Yes, I'm hearing you a lot better. Now, at the beginning of the tender of this government, which was just a few short weeks ago, we heard the Prime Minister saying on swearing in that the Dragon gas deal is dead. Is that still something that your administration is saying? That deal is dead, or are there some revisiting going on there and seeing if it is actually a lucrative stream for Trinidad and Tobago as it pertains to revenue generation?
Okay, let's be very clear. The Dragon gas field is a field that cross-border gas between Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago. That gas is there. God put that gas there. The issue is geopolitics, it's democracy, it's oppression, it's dictatorship, it's stealing of elections, it's narco-terrorists, it's narco-trafficking, it's drug money and drug laundering. It's the issue of the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime with Delcy Rodriguez that has stolen an election on July 28th last year. That is not recognized by our major trading partners, the United States of America, Canada, the European Union, and of South America. The issue is not any gas or any deal or any pipeline or any value chain or any negotiation. The problem is the Maduro regime. Kamla Prasad Bisesa stands on the side of the United States, Canada, European Union, the side of the Organization of American States against dictatorship, tyranny, oppression, and stealing of elections. Kamla Prasad Bisesa stands for democracy. So when democracy returns to Venezuela, when the legitimate regime who was duly elected, Urrutia Gonzalez, is sworn in as president, then the dragon can dance. Anything can dance. Negotiations can begin. But you cannot do deals with an oppressive dictator who thwarts democracy. 8 million citizens have run away from Venezuela. So the issue is not anything other than geopolitics, democracy, and probable negotiations. So when democracy returns to Venezuela, all negotiations, all help, all facets will be on. The deal that Keith Rowley and Stuart Young did, secret NDAs with a narco-trafficking terrorist, that is dead. The secret deals and quiet deals that were made, the corrupt deals and corrupt negotiations that took place in Venezuela without public servants, that is dead. Corruption is dead. Dragon gas is there. And when there is democracy, the two democratic governments of Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela will negotiate openly, properly, with public servants, with intelligence to bring the best deal for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Venezuela.
Right, and even as it pertains to Shell's involvement with this and other companies that have been a part of this deal, are you concerned about how that would affect the relationship between these companies and Trinidad and Tobago moving forward?
I have no problem. All of these companies, some with checkered past, would have to answer and explain their actions. The Minister of Energy, the Honorable Rudal Munilal, is not only intelligent, strong, brilliant, and a man who is good with negotiation. He understands his portfolio, and he will take guidance from the cabinet and the Prime Minister. And all international companies working in Trinidad and Tobago will respect the government of Trinidad and Tobago, because the government of Trinidad and Tobago holds and manages the resources of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are sovereign, we are strong, we know what we are about, and this government will negotiate for the best deal for our people to provide services. We will not go into a secret room in Houston like Stuart Young did in 2017, throw out all the public servants who were brilliant and experienced in negotiation, and charge and change a negotiation that caused NGC to move from $2 billion US profit down to making a loss. That is the PNM way. That is the way of separation and oppression. Kamala is about transparency, accountability, open negotiation, merit, and intelligence. And all these gas companies will learn that there is a new prime minister in town, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago will get what they deserve. No secret NDAs, no secret deals, no backroom deals that give the upstreamers 69% profit while the country gets losses.
Understood. And so we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back as we continue our conversation. See you soon.
You can now get whatever you
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Saving up to go. Anything we not backing down, like a bomb we ready to explode. Ain't gonna wait until my back against the wall. Ain't gonna.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Tobago, this is your chance to lock in the brunch experience of the summer. Sun up.
Real bad girl get nasty.
The brunch inclusive edition, the ultimate party in the East, where vibrant flavors, refreshing cocktails, and electrifying vibes collide. It's happening on Saturday, July 5th from 3 p.m. at Deltec Compound, Argyle. Bring your coolers, bring your crew, and brunch, sip, and vibe in style. This is the flavorful escape you've been waiting for. Grab your tickets now at Barcode, Pablo Supermarket, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Deltec Compound, and committee members. Sun up. It's more than a brunch. It's an experience.
Tobago
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I have been chatting with the Honorable Minister of Housing, Anil Roberts. Good morning and welcome back. Now, as it pertains to the continuation of initiatives and programs and projects that are to the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago, we saw very recently where the Minister of Agriculture has continued that rice initiative in partnership with Guyana. How important is it to continue those partnership and projects that are to the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago for this new administration?
Well, absolutely. Any policy or any program that is beneficial, that is value for money, that brings about good synergies and development for Trinidad and Tobago will be continued. Unfortunately, when you come from a PNM government of 9.5 years, there are not many of those. There are very few. So some rice, hopefully some yam, but that's about it. Everything else that the PNM touch has crumbled. The country, from the economy, come down. It is in a total state of chaos. Here, the Ministry of Housing, billions has been spent. No allocations have been done. In 4.5 years, only 4,000 houses. When Honorable Jolene John, who's Minister of Works and Infrastructure now, was in housing with Dr. Rudal Munilal back in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. They were building between 4,000 and 6,000 houses per year, giving out 100 houses per week. The PNM, over 10 years, have only built 4,970 houses. So the applications have gone up in the thousands. People are suffering. And therefore, the value of land and houses is out of the reach of many normal citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. This we see across the board in all the ministries. The ministries of sport and culture have collapsed. International Soca Monarch Carnival not generating money, no sports tourism. Even the synergy between Tobago and Trinidad has been oppressive because the PNM Balize House philosophy usurped and took control over national pride and moving things forward. So if there are any policies that are good, that have been implemented, they shall be continued. But right now, we are on ground zero. We have to rebuild this country because it is in absolute chaos.
Right, and even as you talk about the continuation of projects, one of the projects that the UNC government would have brought on stream that was not continued was that DB-UE campus. That was a $600 million project that is now being assessed to see what type of works and how much that would cost the current government to try to bring it up to a functional state. Give us a little bit of an insight on that entire, DB-UE campus and its abandonment.
Well, I love my people of Trinidad and Tobago, and I don't think I can add to anything other than the pictures and the videos that were shown of that $600 million beautiful, amazing campus that was there to service the children from Central and South Trinidad, from Couva straight down to La Brea, Point 14. Once citizens see that, you can see how heartless, how wicked, and how evil the PNM is to leave that campus to rot and to decay into the state that it is now, along with 48 other schools that were developed for our people, for our children, shows that PNM just simply doesn't care. Do you understand that that would have given opportunities for our children to excel, to live out their dreams? Go add that to the Couva Children's Hospital that was left there to rot, all of the greatest state-of-the-art equipment that could have saved children's lives, mothers' lives who are having babies, left there by the PNM simply for ridiculous politics so that the UNC will not look good. So the Debe campus epitomizes the vindictive, heartless nature of the PNM. After that Debe campus, the next campus that would have been built by Kamla Prasad Bisesa would have been one for Tobago, so that Tobagonian students do not have to travel to Trinidad, stay, rent apartments, miss out on their family life in order to get an education. A UE campus was due to be built in Tobago, but the PNM did nothing. And to hear Kelvin Morris talk about Tobago autonomy, it makes me feel sick to my stomach. These people have no love and no honesty. So Kamala is in charge now. Our children will get opportunities across the board. All children from Tobago straight down to Point 14, across the Matlot and down to Chagaramas. All citizens will be treated with love and respect. That UWDB campus will be completed and our children can stay, can study, and can take advantage of their resources.
Right. And I'm not sure of your ability to give me a straight answer on this one, but how soon can we see some of those state boards being constituted? Because we have a situation where with NIDCO, which is the National Entrepreneurship Development Company, they have halted on taking applications for persons who are applying for business grants and business loans because they are unaware of whether or not this administration would continue with that program. So can you tell us a bit about that? When can we see these things being a bit more stable?
Well, they are stable now. They are unstopped. The people have rejected the policies of the board members of the PNM were implementing oppressive austerity measures, were removing the resources from the people. They were following the philosophy of the New Society of Keith Rowley, which was, as he stated, wean yourself off the government. The New Society of the PNM meant that the state resources, the taxpayers' resources, were to be used by the rich to get richer, for the recusals of ministers, for rental of their buildings. So all is on pause now. The Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa is collecting and collating information on people who want to serve Trinidad and Tobago on boards. She's vetting, and all these boards will be appointed. Kamala Prasad Bisesa believes in corporate governance, so she's not going to put her friend or her family or her golfing buddy on 7 boards like Newman George was, or Michael Kwamina, his personal lawyer, on 5 boards, or Ingrid Lashley, Inez Gate neighbor of Rowley, on 9 boards. Kamala Prasad Bisesa is not of that. She will put chairman and people on boards who can function adequately, brilliantly, and amazingly based on their qualification to provide service to Trinidad and Tobago. So it may take a little time, but once we get rolling, we'll be rolling efficiently, properly, and to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not to serve the rich, not to serve the financiers, not to serve ministers making $150 million in 9.5 years like Faris Al-Rawi. So the boards will be appointed by the cabinet and the prime minister to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Halting those applications for business grants, is that something that we could see being reinstated very soon?
Business grants are good, but the policy will be better. When you see some of those grants that were given, they weren't given to the entire population. Some things were given out in secret. Here at the Housing Development Corporation, people inside were doing what they want. The information will come out just now. Friends and family were getting houses. They were not serving the population. So yes, boards will be placed would be put in place to run policies and programs that every citizen has an opportunity to benefit from. Not just those who go down Balize House, not just those who have a PNM card, not just those who know a PNM MP or a PNM minister. They were running it like it's a small parlor or old boys and girls club. Kamala Prasad Bisesa is the Prime Minister of all of Trinidad and Tobago, and all of Trinidad and Tobago will have the opportunity to take advantage of, as you say, those grants, other grants, loans, policies, all of that, the children's laptops for all the children, not those who know a minister or could call a minister or WhatsApp a minister. Kamla Prasad Bisesa is about fairness and equity.
Right. And tomorrow is the big day for many. Tomorrow we have, that first parliamentary sitting of this new administration. Are there anything that we should be looking forward to, or hat tricks that we might be seeing happening there tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is a day the parliament called, but every day is a big day. Once God allows us to wake up and see the sun, you are more blessed than I am right now. Right now, I in South Key. I just passed about 3 lumps of garbage that the Port of Spain Corporation need to pick up. You are in beautiful Tobago. You are blessed every day of life to live in Tobago, to see and to believe and to be in a community. So tomorrow is parliamentary opening. There'll be a lot of pomp and ceremony, and I'll not too much into that, but I will put on a good suit and look good.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you and seeing your suit of choice. I don't know if you decide to do the yellow again tomorrow, but we look forward to seeing that and seeing who is appointed as president and vice president of the Senate. These are all things that persons are looking forward to, who the Speaker of the House would be. So, even as it pertains to hat tricks, they were wondering if we would see some familiar faces or we might be shocked and surprised, right? Even as it pertains to Tobago's greater involvement in national policy and national decision making, we've heard promises from both the Chief Secretary and the Prime Minister that greater collaboration would take place moving forward. And even as you hinted to the fact that we are in the process of constituting those state boards, previously we saw a situation where PNM-led central government administration would have put persons in place on some of these boards to represent Tobago that did not necessarily represent the Tobago House of Assembly or being recommended by the Chief Secretary. Moving forward, can we see a situation where there's greater collaboration as it pertains to the Tobago representatives that sit on some of these key boards, specifically boards like the Airport Authority, Caribbean Airline, the Ports Authority?
Well, you have said it better than I can. Kamla Prasad Bisesa has done it before. That is who she is. She's not fake. She loves and respects Tobago. She will listen to the elected representatives of Tobago, which is the Chief Secretary and the Tobago House of Assembly. And she will be guided as she has always been guided, with humility, respect, love, and care. So yes, you will see the THA represented on boards that impact Tobago. That is Kamla Prasad Bisesa's policy, and she will treat the Chief Secretary and the THA with equity, love, respect, care, and negotiate with a good heart, in good faith, not about Balize House going up in the sky and no one can account for $140 million of where it came from. So you are correct, and we can look forward to great collaboration, great positivity, hope, and moving forward Trinidad and Tobago together, because Tobago may have to take care of Trinidad. Tobago is a gem that can diversify this economy and create jobs for all of us. So we will work together. That is Kamla. Kamla cares. Kamla respects. And Tobago shall be respected.
Right. And, I know you are not the Minister for Works and those areas, but one of the areas that Tobagonians are looking forward to seeing change in quick order is with that Caribbean Airline air bridge situation. Now, pre-COVID, we had a last flight that went up to midnight and sometimes a bit after midnight. And then we saw a situation post-COVID where the last flight is somewhere around 9:30. Now, there has been the argument that it's not profitable, the domestic route between Trinidad and Tobago, but it is also necessary for persons to have that free ability to traverse both islands. Now, is that a part of the conversations that are happening as it pertains to, increasing the relationship and the connectivity between the two islands?
You may be a little bit too young to remember, but when Kamla Prasad Bisesa was Prime Minister, 2010 to 2015, you would realize that there were flights to Tobago 22 hours per day. That the airport in Tobago was hardly ever closed. People could not get sleep. Workers had to work because that is Kamla Prasad Bisesa's philosophy, that the islands must be connected. It's the PNM who came and cut down flights. So when you say flights before COVID were up to midnight, they had eliminated 3 hours of flights. So if you had 2 hours, one flight per hour, that was 3 extra flights. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa believes in that, and it must have total connectivity. It was the PNM that shut down the sea bridge in 2016, 2017, collapsed the sea bridge and had Tobagonians' goods going on a barge and collecting seawater on the car and on the banana and in the cement. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa has done it before. She will do it again because it is not only just and right, it is economically and it is to ensure the economic viability of Tobago and Trinidad. So that will be on the agenda. That is a must. The sea bridge must remain flawless. The air bridge and the connectivity must be there. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa was there, over 97,000 international arrivals were coming to Tobago annually. That dropped before COVID under the PNM down to 28,000. During COVID, well, it dropped to zero. And now it's back up to about 40,000, 45,000. So we aim to go above that 100,000. Kamla Prasad Bisesa wants to negotiate and collaborate with the THA to bring more international flights to market the beauty of Tobago so that more people can come, spend money, and create jobs in Tobago.
Excellent. And, going back a bit to some of the work that you are doing at the Ministry of Housing and trying to transform that industry, how important is it to have that, public-private partnership as it pertains to building more affordable homes in Trinidad and Tobago? Because we have a situation where private contractors, obviously, they are in the business of profit, but there is a huge gap where availability of houses and the supply and the demand for houses. So how do you plan to, strategize and work with your team to encourage more private contractors to want to actually build affordable homes?
Well, the Honorable Minister, David Lee, his heart and soul, that's why he's heading the ministry. He wants families to be in houses. So any which way that we could match gas efficiently, get value for money, high quality housing, whether it's public sector, private sector collaboration, private sector linking, whatever can increase the housing stock quickly, efficiently, value for money, high quality housing, putting families in homes. That is the mission and vision of the Honorable David Lee, Minister of Housing.
And you also have another minister in the Ministry of Housing added, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. How is that situation, having 3 ministers there? How is the collaboration? How has the relationship been with you, with him being included there?
Well, we are collaborators. We are respectful of each other, and we could use 5 ministers here because in 10 years, the PNM has not built houses. Every day I get about 100 WhatsApp messages with reference numbers. I do not know where I'm going to store them. How are we going to deal with them? So we have 3 ministers here, all with tasks, with duties to provide housing, to repair housing, to ensure that the housing estates that exist are built and maintained to a level that is worthy of our citizens. So we are working smoothly. I played football for Fatima and under 19 national. I swam for Trinidad and Tobago from 1978 to 1987. I'm an Olympic coach. So teamwork is my forte. We have a great team here at the Ministry of Housing, led by the Honorable Minister David Lee, and we'll work together to make Trinidad and Tobago proud of us, to provide families with smiles on their faces as we provide housing that is affordable and high quality.
Excellent. But we're going to take a quick break right here for the final time, and we come back and we wrap up. So see you soon.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I've been having the privilege of chatting with the Honorable Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Senator Anil Roberts. Good morning and welcome back. Now, even as it pertains to your work and trying to innovate and do things better in the Ministry of Housing, there are countries, specifically first world countries, that understanding, the limiting housing capacity have implemented a number of strategies to assist assist its citizens. One of those things we see in the Netherlands, there is the housing assistance grant. So although the government may not be able to provide housing for all, they subsidize rental costs by giving grants to persons who have a low income. You know, they would set the income threshold, obviously. But you know, are ideas like these some that your government or even you are willing to embrace and look at as possible avenues? We know we can't provide houses for everyone. It's basically impossible, especially when you talk about the number of persons that are on that list. But if persons are able to have their rents subsidized, that might be able to assist some persons low income households.
Well, let me answer it this way for you. Kamla Prasad Bisesa cares. Kamla Prasad Bisesa came out of poverty. Kamla Prasad Bisesa knows what it is to have no roof over her head. Kamla Prasad Bisesa knows what it is to only have one uniform to go to school. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa will undertake through all ministries every aspect that will ensure that the value of money or the value of salaries can be stretched so that more people could have housing in any form or fashion, whether it is from rental subsidies, as you say, that is a policy that could work and will be looked at. Every policy, increasing jobs, reducing inflation, ensuring the purchasing power parity of our dollar increases, making sure that infrastructure is there, that taxes are lower. Remember, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, in her first iteration as Prime Minister, brought no new taxes. So she wants to provide value for money to enable citizens to survive, thrive, and live out their dreams. So this problem will be attacked from many avenues, many policies, many positions. But you can be sure that the people would benefit, because in Kamla's society, the taxpayers' dollars are used and redound to the benefit of the people and not the financiers and not the ministers, not the elites. Kamla does not believe that the rich must get richer and then crumble or sprinkle crumbs on the rest. Kamla believes that you could be in poverty and become a Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, as she has done.
Right. And, you know, even in closing, is there anything you want to say to Tobagonians as it pertains to being optimistic about what is on the horizon with a new central government being in place?
Well, first of all, I want to tell Tobagonians I'm jealous of y'all. I wish I was in Tobago. Tobago is the greatest island on God's green earth. Tobago is peaceful, it's beautiful. The community, the people, the culture, the music, the food, the relaxation, the climate, the flora, the fauna. So every day that you wake up in Tobago, you are blessed. However, now you are doubly blessed because there is a synergy between your THA, your Chief Secretary, your government in Tobago, and the central government of Trinidad and Tobago under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. They care. Both of them care. The resources and the opportunities will abound for all of Trinidadians and all of Tobagonians. Yes, there is hope. There is hope in the color of my shirt, that it bleeds underneath and covers the red, white, and black of Trinidad and Tobago. Gone are the oppressive days. Gone are the arrogant days. Gone are the days of no merit. Gone are the Duncy days. And up comes the intelligence, brilliance, all brains on deck. Collaboration, respect, and love. Tobago will rise, and Trinidad will rise together. God bless. Thank you for having me. It was a long time. I've been sitting in my car. Good thing it had diesel.
All right. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning again, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon. And we here at Tobago Updates, we are always open to chatting and discussing whenever you have new projects that you want to release, specifically as it pertains to your partnerships with the Tobago House of Assembly. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Guys, we want to thank you so much for sticking with us this morning. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have done and continue to do do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. And today we look forward to a fruitful debate at the Assembly Legislature as it pertains to the Tobago Autonomy Bill. We look forward to broadcasting live here on Tobago Update, so you can view that sitting today. We will be broadcasting it live here, and we look forward to hearing more about what this administration has planned and strategized as it pertains to bringing Tobago closer to that vision of autonomy. Guys, again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.